The small intestine then can be separated into two parts. We can have the duodenum, which is generally the first 30 centimeters of the small intestine. Basically, most of the digestion actually takes place here. So you've got the pancreatic juices, bile going in there. Then you come on to a region called the ileum. So the ileum is the last part of the small intestine, the rest of it, and that is where absorption occurs. There's loads of glands that be secreting enzymes in there, mucus, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and these are all basically done to maximise the rate of absorption. So the ileum basically has a very large surface area. It's around about 6 meters long, in fact, in the body. And it's actually folded into sort of circular folds. So it sort of looks, if you take a cross section of it, it looks a little bit like this. And that is, as you guessed it, that's obviously to increase the surface area. If we take a zoom in then on the wall of this, so a little bit on the wall of that, what you find are little finger-like projections called villi. Okay, so villi are pretty small. They're around about, so the length of that is around about 500 micrometers, give or take a few. So the width of this then is around about 40 millimeters in width. So the villi are pretty small. On these villi then, if you take a zoom in even closer, we have little structures on there called microvilli. So they sit, they make up the outer layer of the villi, and we're talking this distance here of around about 1 micrometer. Very, very small. So, you can't really see them with a microscope, these microvilli. They can only really be seen with an electron microscope, and that is really, really, really small. But in total, the surface area that these microvilli give the small intestine is around about 2,000 meters squared. Okay, 2,000 square meters. So really, really big. You also have things to aid the rate of absorption here. So with greater surface area, you've also got a short diffusion distance. So that means the molecules don't have to travel as far, so therefore it takes less. You've got a good blood supply. Good blood supply. And you basically maintain a very high concentration gradient. And that is done by this very good blood supply. So it's constantly taking molecules away and making sure that diffusion distance is really great. Going down into the large intestine then. You don't have to know a lot about the large intestine, just that it absorbs water. It's made up of mainly 4 parts: colon, cecum, the appendix, and the rectum. Glands secrete mucus there just to make sure that the food slides down nicely. Obviously, feces is going to be made up of mainly cellulose because stuff we can't digest, cholesterol, a lot of bile, that's what makes it brown. Mucus, lots of cells, lots of bacteria, water, and again, like I said before, it's an actual example of an involuntary muscle contraction that we can actually control rather than it's being without control. So that's the small intestine. Last thing we're going to look at then on the next video is digestion of carbohydrates and which enzymes digest them.